Hello and welcome to the Sussex National Auction here in Bloemfontein. Today we're having a chat with David McCall, the president of the Sussex Cattle Breeders Society, and we're going to talk a bit about the overall lineup, about the purpose of a national auction, and then the short and long-term goals for the Sussex breed. Hi David, how are you
Nicole.
today?
Yeah, good.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm also well, thank you. Okay, so let's just dive right in. What would you say from your point of view is the purpose of a national auction, and why do the Sussex people host a national auction?
So Nicole, across the country we have production sales that are hosted by private stud breeders. So the national auction really, firstly, gives an opportunity for those breeders that aren't particularly big necessarily, but can also come together in one spot and contribute and be able to put all their bulls that they have on offer on one auction. So from a logistics point of view, it makes sense, bringing it all here to Bloemfontein, but also in terms of just practicalities in terms of numbers. So, not everyone can put 30 bulls on an auction on their own, but certainly, people can bring 5 or 6 or even 10 bulls sometimes onto a national auction, and it gives them the exposure that they want, and we provide, obviously, as a society, all the infrastructure around that. That's the first thing. I think the second thing with the national auction is really a lot of the breeders, be it them large breeders or small breeders, in terms of number, really try and put their top genetics on the market and at a national auction. So a lot of people that do have their own production sales actually do keep 1 or 2 bulls back or females, and they'd put them on the national auction. So certainly, in terms of both from a buying and a selling point of view, it's a good opportunity for us to get all the stud breeders here once a year in Bloemfontein and really, enjoy the time together apart from anything.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a very nice part of it. I had a walk through and I saw the animals. They look stunning.
Yes.
But in your opinion, what do you think about the overall lineup for today's auction?
So we've got 25 odd bulls on offer, which range in age from 2 to 3 years. What's interesting is you're obviously going to see a slight diversity in terms of the actual animals themselves, which is good, because I think every breeder has their own nuance in terms of what they're trying to achieve. So what it does is it gives everyone the ability to see all the different breeds as well from a buyer's point of view. It's also good to see how various stud breeders have developed over the years. So that's really interesting. And then so we've got 25 odd bulls. And then from a female perspective, we haven't got a lot of females on offer. I think they're 15, but all stud cows, which is great.
Is that something that you'd like to look into the future?
Definitely. So I think so we obviously, our market really is around stud breeders primarily at this auction, but they're also commercial cattle farmers, and then also potentially a lot of mixed farming farmers who actually grow predominantly crops, and really those guys are looking for commercial females, so to optimize their mealie ooster and those things. But the rest, so really we, going forward, I think one of our big objectives is to really increase the number of females that we would have on an auction like this.
Definitely, I think that's very important.
So the guys can come and buy a whole lot of commercial females, but then also hopefully 1 or 2 stud bulls as well to add value to them.
Okay, and then I have a deeper question. Let's dive a bit deeper. What would you say are the short-term goals for the Sussex breed?
So the Sussex breed has been around for over 100 years, and I think the one thing that in terms of maybe a long-term goal to start with is really around sustainability. So we're not necessarily the biggest breeders association in the country, but certainly over the last few years we've seen in terms of the statistics we've grown, which is great. But what's really important is that we become sustainable and adapt for the next kind of 10 to 20 years, and that for me revolves largely around the integrity of our society, the integrity of our what we put on offer, and that people actually want to be associated with our brand. So it's all very well having a great product in terms of the cattle themselves, which I think are fantastic. They're adaptable, they're fertile, really good temperament. But also in terms of the brand, it's over and above that, which is really our value proposition. So people that breed with Sussex, have a great product, but they also want to be part of an association that is welcoming and that has integrity. So that's on the long-term side of things. I think again on the short-term side, obviously we're all in the business of hopefully making some profit at some point.
Definitely.
And the beef industry is tough. We've got the whole foot and mouth issue, which is really taking its toll again, and hopefully we've got to deal through those challenges, and again support the farmers throughout the country. It is what it is, but we need to make sure that we've got the processes in place to support not only the bigger farmers but also the smaller breeders themselves.
Yeah.
And again, as a society, is provide the infrastructure that enables them to do well. And from year to year. So everyone's going to, some people have good years, and whilst others have poor year or challenging years at the same time. And really, I think our role as a society is to create that cornerstone that people feel supported, and that they can actually get through the tough times, and in the good times be able to do well.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. That's very nice. Thank you so much. There you have it. We're at the Sussex National Auction here in Bloemfontein. If you can't be here, Swiftfear is here. You can just go online, register, and then make sure to get the good genetics that are here. Have a lovely day. Bye.